Imagine this. You are at a crossroads in life. On one path, there is a life filled with self-doubt, constant worry about others' opinion, and a heavy burden of unfulfilled dreams. On the other path, there is a life of freedom, peace, and fulfillment. What if I told you the key to unlocking the second path lies in 4 simple yet profound agreements? Welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Success Strategies. I am Dr. Avinash here, and I share actionable insights and strategies to help you thrive in health, career, relationship, and spiritual well-being. Get ready to feel inspired. Today's episode explores the powerful teachings in the book The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Before we dive into the agreements themselves, let's take a moment to understand the significance of TOLTEC philosophy. The 4 agreements originates from the TOLTEC philosophy. The Toltecs were an ancient civilization known for their wisdom and spiritual teachings. They lived in the southern parts of Mexico. Don Miguel Ruiz is a descendant of Toltecs, distilled his wisdom into these 4 agreements. Simple rules to live by that can help us free from self-limiting beliefs and achieve true happiness. Our journey begins with the first agreement: be impeccable with your word. At first glance, it may seem straightforward, that is to say, speak with integrity or say only what you mean, but it's more than just being truthful. It's about understanding the power of your words and how they can shape your reality. Consider this. A friend of mine once shared a story about how a single careless comment from a colleague affected her self-esteem for years. One day during a meeting, her colleague said, "You're always so quiet, it's like you have nothing to contribute here." That comment stuck with her and she began to believe it. She started holding back her ideas, convinced that they weren't valuable. It wasn't until she encountered the first agreement that she realized the power of words. Not just others' words, but her own words as well. By changing her internal dialogue and choosing to speak positively to herself, she reclaimed the confidence. Words can build or destroy, heal or hurt. Whenever we are impeccable with our word, we are careful with the energy we put out into the world, we can create a positive ripple effect in our lives and the lives of those around us. The second agreement might be the most liberating. Don't take anything personally. Ruiz tells us that nothing others do is because of you. It's a reflection of their own reality. But often we do internalize someone else's bad day as a reflection of our own worth. Let me share a story. My friend Amit, a hard-working professional, had a boss who seemed to have it out for him. Every day, this boss would find something wrong, whether it was in Amit's work, or his attitude, or even the way he dressed. The criticism was relentless, and Amit began to feel like a failure. He started questioning his abilities, thinking maybe he was just not good enough. Then one day, Amit discovered that his boss was going through a bitter divorce and was immensely under financial pressure. The boss's anger and frustration had nothing to do with Amit's work. He was simply a convenient outlet for his boss's pain. Realizing this, Amit stopped taking the criticism personally. Instead of letting it crush his spirit, he began to see for what it really was. It was a reflection of his boss's turmoil rather than his own shortcomings. He was able to detach emotionally, keeping his confidence intact and focus on doing his job to the best of his abilities. When we stop taking things personally, we protect ourselves from unnecessary pain and maintain our inner peace. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Assumptions can be dangerous. They create misunderstandings, conflict, and unnecessary drama. Ruiz's third agreement encourages us to avoid making assumptions and instead seek clarity by asking questions. For example, imagine you're at work and a colleague passes you without greeting you. You might assume that they are upset with you, which could lead to feelings of resentment and anxiety. But what if they were simply preoccupied with a personal issue? By asking a simple question, "Is everything okay?" you could have avoided the assumption and possibly even provided support to a friend in need. In my own life, I have found that many conflicts arise from assumptions. A close friend once distanced herself from me and I assumed she was upset about something I did. I spent days worrying and replaying our last conversation. When I finally asked her about it, she explained that she was going through a tough time and needed some space. My assumptions had caused unnecessary stress, and all it took was a simple question to clear things up. By practicing this agreement, we can foster better communication and build stronger and more honest relationships. The final agreement ties everything together. Always do your best. This agreement acknowledges that your best will vary from day to day depending on your circumstances. But as long as you give your best, you will avoid self-judgment and regret. I once coached a client who struggled with perfectionism. He would beat himself up whenever he fell short of his impossibly high standards, which led to burnout and frustration. I introduced him to this fourth agreement, and it was a game changer. He began to focus on doing his best in any given day rather than striving for perfection. As a result, he became more productive and less stressed and far more satisfied with his work. Doing your best isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up fully and giving your best effort no matter the circumstances. This approach not only boosts your self-esteem but also keeps you grounded and present in the moment. And even if something doesn't turn out good, at least you won't be regretful because you know you have given your best anyways. So there you have it, the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, do not make assumptions, and always do your best. These agreements may seem simple, but their impact is profound. By embracing them, you can transform your life, freeing yourself from the self-limiting beliefs and embracing a path of peace, freedom, and true happiness. I challenge you to start practicing these agreements today and notice how they shift your perspective and watch how they bring more harmony and fulfillment in your life. And even if you struggle practicing these agreements in the first few days, or even if you fail someday, it is not always bad because you would have tried to the best of your abilities. Thank you for joining me on this episode of 10-Minute Success Strategies. If you found this discussion valuable, please share it with others who might benefit. And remember, true change begins with small, consistent steps. Let these 4 agreements guide you on a journey to personal freedom. Until next time, I am Dr. Avinash, wishing you peace, joy, and success on your path.